our golden little whatchamacallits.
Yeah, our little naked men.
Oh, it's like the Ken doll.
It is.
Huh.
Alright. Roll the intro.
I don't know, but I believe.
Hello, Bruce.
Micah, what are you doing?
Guys, we've taken a little bit of a sabbatical. I'm going to adjust the mic right now because... Okay. Guys, we've taken a little bit of a sabbatical, so we're actually going to call this Thought Bubble Season 1.5. Because Thought Bubbles next week will probably look a lot different than they do now. And that's exciting.
Yeah, fingers crossed for that. Hopefully,
So, we'll see. We'll make some sort of video about it. It'll be epic. It'll probably win awards.
I think we're gonna have a lot of big changes.
We are gonna have a lot of big changes.
I mean, not to spoilers or anything like that, but stay tuned.
Stay tuned to the end of the episode. We will really ramp up and build something cool, and I'll actually tell you what it is. So you're gonna want to watch that. Yeah. So Bruce, what are we talking about today? There's like a dried blueberry on the floor. I'm gonna take.
So just to clarify, we did not win any awards, and I'll give you one guess as to why.
My comedic timing is impeccable.
It really is. It's spot on. So we
finally did it.
Yeah, we finally
together.
did it. Yep. We saw a movie together.
Oh my goodness, it finally happened. Tonight, Bruce and I finally watched a movie together. Woo! With the parents, the wife, and Abijah. In we go.
Like after 2 years?
Yeah.
2 years of
2 years
romance and friendship. We finally watched it. We didn't even sit next to one another.
No, we didn't.
Like Joel was sitting between us too, and I mean,
yeah. So we watched. It was a one night only movie called A Story Worth Living, where John Eldridge, we've talked about him some before. He and his sons go on 1,000-mile motorcycle trip.
Yeah. Through Colorado, like on road, off road.
They take some sweet spills. It was an enjoyable movie, but the theme of it was looking at your life kind of as a story and figuring out how you live in that, and basically asking, what larger story are you inviting yourself into?
Like what larger story are you part of?
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna take a for them, it was this 1,000-mile bike ride. That's what they were inviting themselves into. What are some ways you've seen yourself, man, hold on. My nose is really stuffy. Guys, this is not going to be pleasant, so I'm going to go right up next to the mic to do it. Okay, I feel better.
Oh my gosh. We're not coming back for season 2. They're shutting us down.
No, you just be like, guys, we thought we could post anything, but... Wow, we take like 2 weeks off and we're falling apart.
Yeah.
All right. So Bruce, are there areas in your life where you've seen yourself invited into a larger story, or you feel like, I know we've got some stuff we've been working through coming up that I feel like is inviting into a larger story, but just tell me about, like, what do you think? Process the movie.
Oh man.
The whole theme of as our life as a story.
I mean, you mentioned this earlier, the quote, like, if you're the main character of your story, like, you're missing it.
If you're the main character of your story's not big enough.
Yeah. And so, since talking about that just a couple hours ago now, that's something that's been kind of rattling through my mind about, like, really, like, what am I doing? And I think a lot of my story lately has kind of been that that invitational living, like, which is something that you and I have, like, really tried to go after well, mm-hmm. whether it's with high schoolers or with one another, or inviting people in to go Tough Muddering or mm-hmm. whatever it is, but I think the bigger story that I find myself part of now is like, I have a lot of friends that are in really, like, exciting times in their lives, getting engaged, getting married, things like that. And it's been cool just being able to like celebrate that with them, do those stages of life with them, and just be part of that. Like I'm usually the one being welcomed in. I haven't been really doing much of the, hey, come, do whatever with me, but it's been cool to see, like, friends invite me along. So that's kind of where I find myself right now.
Yeah, I think even going back to the statement, if you're the main character in your story, you're not living a large enough story, I think what you're modeling there really well is, ultimately, our lives are God's story, and we are the supporting characters. Like, how do we make much of God, make him famous, and we are literally the sidekick where the hero could win the battle by himself, but where he's choosing to invite us along. And this is a huge compliment to you, because I feel like you model that supporting role well to a lot of people. I know, like, for me, you're like, if I want to do something, like, who can I enjoy this with, or who can, like, I feel like we have a lot of fun, and it's because you're up for it, and you're, like, always supportive of people, encouraging, and I mean, even with our guys or our people at Ignite, just like inviting them along, but also being a joy to be with when you're just with it. Because that's like, it's like one thing if you like, come on and join me, it's gonna be awesome, and you all just sit around like, well, this blows.
It's not any fun. Yeah,
life of the party right here.
That's what that trophy says.
Yes, life of the party.
That's what I'm getting that trophy to say now. Life of the party. I'm putting that on my tombstone.
Here lies Bruce, the life of the party. Man, I've been thinking about this, like, sort of the larger story that I'm finding myself invited into, and it's honestly terrifying. Like, you watch movies and something, and there's this moment where the main character has to decide. It's like, it's Luke on Tatooine after his aunt and uncle are dead, and it's like, does he go off into the larger story, or does he stay with what he's always known?
Yeah.
It's Frodo in the Shire going, all these people around me are more qualified to take this ring to Mordor, but this is my burden to bear. I'm going to do it. And I feel like that's kind of very much where I find myself.
Just like a little unprepared for what's coming.
Yeah, like feeling like I've been invited into this bigger story and doing my best to live in it, but also realizing that, I am a little short hobbit in a realm where men and monsters are fighting. And which is like this huge humbling factor. You're like, but I'm not alone. And like there are people around are super supportive, like you and Joelle and Dave especially. But also, like, even more than that, like, God is with me. Yeah. And I think any story worth going after,
any story worth living.
I'm not sure if that's trademarked, but let's just use it. Eldridge, if you watch this and find us
and want to sue us,
I'll see you in court. Can we just hit talk? Can we have lunch afterwards?
Let's go climb or something afterwards. Go fish.
I don't even know how to fish, but I'll learn. But like any story that is actually worth living has that degree of terror and in over your head. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes them a good story. Like, can the hero come through again? I don't know. But I'm going to be in my seat till the end to find out. And right now I feel like I'm, at that point where I don't know if I'm going to come through or not.
Yeah.
But it needs to be tried. So, which kind of leads us a little bit. Well, actually, let's finish up. There's no way this is as long as it should be. And
well, I mean, I can hijack it and ask a question.
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so the whole idea of a story worth living, like ultimately, like I'm gonna steal the Francis Chan analogy.
Okay.
With the mile long rope and the purple at the very end that's like this big, and like the purple is where we are, like, in our 60, 70, 80 years of life.
Yeah.
And then the question that he poses is like, what are you doing to live for everything after that, like 2 or 3 inch purple?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what are you doing? Like, you're living, your story well. You're inviting me in. You're taking the ring to Mordor and things like that. Kind of, just like faithfully and boldly, just heading off into the unknown. What are you doing now that like will ultimately like reflect eternity, that will ultimately
Why don't forgive me. Life right now is for the purpose of becoming more and more holy, more and more like God. And the cool thing is, everything after that purple rope is sanctification completed. And the way I want to live my time in that purple, in that little snippet that I have here, whether it's 40, 50, 80 years, is I want to start...
I'm really glad you didn't say like 25.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm really glad.
Yeah. Yeah, you're in overtime, brother. Is I want to make sure the time that I'm doing, that I'm living in this time, is setting the precedent for how I want to live every fraction of an inch afterward. We've used a phrase a lot. It's like the man that I am becoming, or the man that you are becoming. I want to make
God's
sure,
growing.
Yeah,
you
I want to make
up.
sure every moment in this purple is preparing me and getting me closer and closer to living like that white part of the rope. We'll totally just borrow the analogy and show the clip so you guys can see it. It's really worth watching. But in the clip, it's like the solid purple tape and then this white rope. What if it's more gradient than that? Like we're slowly becoming holy. I want to believe that. And
that's a really cool way of thinking about that. I've never once considered that.
Something that I like to make this applicable. Like, oh, you know, all this is great. I'm becoming more holy and being sanctified, which is true. But it's living in that reality that what I do now does matter.
Yeah.
And I think something that's been huge for me is thinking, how much of my time do I actually spend loving people, and am I, and it's like, you know, that sounds like a country song or something, like, you know, it's gotta love others, but it's so true. And you know, we actually had this great moment, golly, like 4 or 5 adventure videos back where we did Will It Quesadilla. So watch that little shameless plug right here. And this was originally going to be just you and me doing this weird stuff. And
asking the important question.
Will it quesadilla? And like, no, that's not, I mean, we could do this, we'd have a good time, but ultimately, I'm not sure we're loving anyone. So like, let's figure out how to invite people in. And
I think that's something that we're growing in. Like, I think it's something that we're getting better at, and it's been cool to see that. Like, I almost have more fun, like, doing the bubbles, doing the adventure videos when the gang's all there, whether it's, you know, the climbing gang or the freshman gang or whatever.
Yeah, and there's something that, you know, we're gonna go completely off topic. Dave, I hope you're feeling better. Hang with us. Is like, there are so many people on YouTube that do like their talking head, and they give their 8-minute monologue, and they've got 3 million views. But ultimately, you know, they're by themselves in a room, and then they're gonna edit this video by themselves, and then they post it. And I don't know, like, yes, I'm sure that has impact on others, but I feel like the people in the room with me are gonna be far more impacted than whoever watches the media I create.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of the way I'm trying to, like, this little chunk of life. Like, just let's invite people in. I don't care if it means the end video is less interesting because, you know, we had too many people. Like,
because it's 45 minutes long, and there's
it's like, I would rather
40 minutes of it's awkward silence.
Yeah. But I would so but yeah. So I just talked a lot, but this does lead us. I'm going to transition. So Bruce and I, Joel's talking on the phone, so if you hear noise in the background, that's what it is. Bruce and I, back at the beginning of this year, decided we wanted to make 10 adventure videos.
We're getting pretty close.
We're counting down like a rocket ship. We're at like 3, 2, 1.
The next one's 10, right?
I think it's 9. So two more adventure videos.
Okay.
We've been spending a lot of time thinking. Like, we had a ton of fun making these, and like 10 was our goal before we decided if we were gonna stop or if we were gonna go on. And we said
the jury's still out on that, right?
well, maybe
we need some sponsorships.
Yes, sponsors. If anyone wants to sponsor us,
what are we saying? Like $100 an episode? That way we can have a budget.
I don't know.
Wouldn't it be great to work with a budget? That's for another conversation.
10 episodes from now, we're going to have a big announcement for what's coming up next.
Wait, 10 episodes from now or 2
episodes?
episodes?
2 episodes.
2 episodes from now.
Episode 10. We're going to have a big announcement. If you guys made it all the way through this bubble here, awesome. You're going to be the first ones to know that this is coming. I'm pretty excited. I think
Yeah, this is gonna be good.
this is going to be it's
Very worthwhile.
it's bold, it's worthwhile,
It's bigger.
and honestly,
It's getting the creative juices flowing too.
And honestly, I
this'll
look
be
at
good.
this idea right now, and it scares me just enough.
I'm still not convinced that we're gonna be able to do it, but I guess that's kind of the beauty of it.
So we will be announcing what that is in a few upcoming episodes. In the meantime, we just want to let you guys know that we're taking, kind of, I guess in a way, if I could say, what we've been trying to preach these last 10 episodes of faith,
Adventure
and living boldly, and figuring out how do we take that to the next level and model that for you guys.
So that's just a little hint, nudge, nudge as to what's coming.
Yeah, so get pretty excited. Guys, we love you, and excited to continue doing stuff with you.